A Brazilian judge has ordered Facebook to delete the profile of a 24-year-old journalist who died in May last year. The mother of Juliana Ribeiro Campos filed a case arguing that messages, songs and photos on the profile caused her extreme distress. This is a case that raises the question of online memorials. What information remains online after we have died? Well, with me in the studio is Bruno Garcés from BBC Brazil and LJ Rich, who is from our technology programme Click. Firstly, Bruno, there's a bit of an update on this, isn't there?
Yes, well, Facebook has just complied with the judicial decision and it has taken off Juliana's profile out of air. It's no longer...
Give us a bit of a background to this case, though, and what's happened.
Yeah, she passed away May last year, so it had been almost a year now, and there had been two judicial orders asking for the profile to be taken off air, unsuccessful bids, but now after this third one, the judge had said that Facebook, after receiving the judicial order, had 48 hours to take it off the air, or else the head of Facebook in Brazil could face, could go to jail, actually.
LJ, this kind of site, a memorial site or tribute site, seems to be becoming more popular, if I'm right, but they're hugely contentious, aren't they?
They are, and I think the problem is that our attitudes towards when someone close to us dies can change depending on who we are, and a lot of people deal with things differently, whether they're in the digital domain or not. So, for example, for somebody to continue to receive messages from a memorial account, it could be either reassuring to them or really distressing because it reminds them perhaps of someone that they can no longer be in contact with. And I guess we're still getting used to how much data is there after we leave this earth. It's a relatively new thing, the digital afterlife, and a lot of companies are still kind of working out exactly how to deal with that.
Yeah, just a few weeks ago, though, Google gave people the option
of
redirecting their email. I mean, that was an interesting move.
It's called the Inactive Account Manager, and what you do is you sign up to it, and then you can designate a trusted person to pass all of your details over to. That only works if you've got a Gmail account. If you have what they call a Google Apps account, then it doesn't work. But yes, people are kind of getting more savvy about the fact that they're leaving a data trail behind.
And Bruno, has this been quite a big story in Brazil? Lots of people following it.
Well, it had some following, but it took place in a state, not in the central one. It was Mato Grosso do Sul, which is somewhat isolated. It would have become quite huge had it made the outcome that was expected, that, you know, a CEO of Facebook in Brazil having to face trial, having to go to jail for that. It didn't get to that extent. I think Facebook made the wise decision. It has roughly 46 million users in Brazil, so I think it tread very carefully in order not to upset, you know, the Brazilian courts.
It's true, LJ, that any country where there are lots of Facebook followers, any story about Facebook obviously makes the headlines. People are really interested.
Yes.
But tell me about... Oh, sorry.
Well, I was going to say that Facebook's policy is to memorialise a page when it's requested. It's actually quite difficult to delete your Facebook account, even if you are still alive. You have to deactivate your account, but all the data remains available, and you have to fill in a form online in order to delete your Facebook account. So it kind of looks like Facebook wants as much data to remain online and accessible.
LJ, you know all about these things. What is life blogging?
Well, life blogging, life casting or life logging is a way of recording your life, and a lot of the time what would happen is you'd take photographs of something and you'd have this sort of wad of photos. Life logging has been around for a while, and it's almost adds an automatic element to recording your life. So there are cameras that will take a photograph every 30 seconds, and then you end up with a couple of thousand photos from your day that get made up into maybe like a video timeline of your life.
This fills me with horror, this idea, but clearly it's...
Well, I actually tried it. I wore a camera for 5 or 6 hours. For the first hour, you think, oh, I'm not sure about this. And then I sort of forgot about it. And then afterwards, I had a day that I'll always remember because it's completely digitally, perfectly
Yeah, I suppose
recalled.
in that way, it's actually a lovely idea, and perhaps for people who are unwell or have children as well.
Yes.
Interesting idea. LJ, Bruno, thank you very much for joining us.